I want me some glory hole.
Fucking Jerry Jones, what you need to be worried about is getting some blinds in your stadium. What's up? It's the Huff. Anytime I can use that soundbite of Jerry Jones talking about a glory hole, I'm going to use it.
I want me some glory hole.
Did you see where the other day the Cowboys were? I don't know who they were playing, but CD Lamb goes to catch. It should have been like an easy catch in the end zone, and he's blinded by the sun from the stadium because it's open, and or is it open, or at least there's a giant fucking window. Either way, he's blinded by the fucking sun. And Jerry Jones is like, blah, 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 blah. We're not going to do anything about that. Blah, 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 blah. Well, you just missed out on a touchdown. My goodness. Jerry Jones might be the worst owner in sports because he's oblivious to how shit's getting done. They're a joke of a franchise. I'll say this, though. There's still a lot of Dallas Cowboy fans out there, but they've got to be sitting there bashing their head against the wall going, come on, Jerry, let's do something about it. Let's stop losing and start focusing on winning. My goodness. If your players are being blinded by sunlight, do something about it. And guess what? You got a lot of fucking money to do something about it. What a dipshit. My goodness. Fucking too busy worried about those damn glory holes to worry about, fixing, the shades. You can get some nice blackout shades. Those aren't very expensive, but although that being said, I'm guessing you're going to need a little bit bigger than my window in my bedroom. But it's not impossible, Jerry. CD Lamb's being interviewed by the press afterwards, and they said, would blinds have helped you? Or would you suggest to Jerry Jones that he put up some blinds? And he's like, I'm not saying that, but you just asked it for me. It's like, yeah, listen to your players. You're fucking them up. Jesus, man. Jerry Jones. That's a guy that just needs to step away, and he can't. He has such a hard on to be the center of attention that he's neglecting what's going on with his team, what his product is, his company is. He's fucking it over. What a dickhead. I'm so glad I'm not a Cowboys fan. I'd be so frustrated right now. And just, you got to be frustrated as a Cowboys fan for what, like a decade or more? Jeez, they're terrible. Terrible. And it starts with him. But you know what we need to worry about right now? Hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening or watching. And remember, today's show is presented to you by Owl Pipe ID. Caca, caca. That's money. That is the exact sound of an owl. Some of you are like, bro, no, it's not. This is also presented by Game Time PDR, if I could actually speak. I don't have any silly sound effects to go with Game Time PDR. PDR, PDR. There we go. I'm dumb. They're going, you know what? We need to talk. We need to talk. You're dumb. Also presented to you by Bet Online. In fact, Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, Bet Online provides you with all the action and the ability to watch all the games as they happen. Now, with the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, college basketball, NHL to UFC and MMA. By the way, I was just talking to my guy Jimmy over at Bet Online, and Nikola Jokic is the favorite as of right now to win NBA MVP. So that's really cool. Might want to jump on some of those odds. I don't know. Just go to betonline.ag right now to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. It's Bet Online. The game starts here. Before we jump into the show, before we get into the headlines, have you got, I'm not going to play the soundbite. I'm not going to because I don't want to put you through that hell. One of the most annoying sounds on the planet is being used to sell a product, well, its very own product, but it's driving me nuts every time because they're oversaturating the market with this one particular Home Depot commercial and this sound. What am I talking about? It's that Home Depot with the guys from, I think it's College Game Day, and there's that smoke detector beep. That's how the commercial starts. It's like beep. When your smoke detector's running out of battery juice, that's what it does. And that actually happened to me maybe a few weeks ago in the middle of the night, like 3 o'clock in the morning. Never fucking happens during the day when I ain't got shit to do and I'm not sleeping. It happened at 3 o'clock in the morning ish, and it just beep. And the hardest one to get to in my house, because in my wife and I's room, it's vaulted, and it just the angle. I'm like, oh my god, seriously. So I had to go get a ladder, 3 o'clock in the morning. Try not to wake up anybody other than my wife. Get up on the ladder, and I just unplugged it. I'm like, fuck it. I don't have a battery right now. Whatever. It drives me nuts. So the fact that Home Depot has a commercial that is starting off playing that stupid beep, and that whenever I'm watching a movie, it seems like it's like starting every commercial break. It drives me nuts to the point where my older dog, knows what that sound is, and it pisses him off. And he's just like looking around. My kids are like, oh, wait, hit pause. I think one of the smoke detectors is running out of juice. Nope. It's that stupid fucking commercial. Drives me nuts. If I wouldn't have replaced all the batteries, and I want to say like a year or two, I replaced all of the smoke detectors, like just bought new smoke detectors, which you're supposed to do, I want to say every 10 years or so. So I did that like a year or two ago. If I wouldn't have done that, I would look at that commercial and it would make me strive to find a different company that makes smoke detectors, because that pisses me off. It pisses me off so bad. It's like we've talked about, like commercials where it's people eating and you hear all the juices in their mouth and bleh, the food crunching. It's disgusting. Makes me want to never eat that food. Carl's Jr. I'm like, nope, not going to Carl's Jr. Go somewhere else. I'll go in a hole in the wall. I'll go in the back alley. There's a guy over there with a grill. Don't know if the meat's good or not, but it's better than when I see a commercial where people are like drooling and there's like slop coming out of their mouth. No, that's not selling the burger to me. All that makes me want to do is throat punch somebody. Seriously. My goodness. And that's the same stupid thing with the beeping smoke detector on the Home Depot commercial. Beep, beep. Ugh, no. Just bad memories, bad thoughts running through my head. And it's all Home Depot's fault. But that being said, I love Home Depot. Oh my God. That is like an adult playground. Go in there, and I go in there with my son and we just look and we're just like, oh, this would be cool to have. What about this? Ooh, we could do this. What if we made this? Blah, 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 blah. It's so fun. I could easily spend, uh, for the miscellaneous things around my house, because I got to redo steps in the backyard. Don't know when I'll get to that. Might not be till spring. I got to do that, and then other upkeep around the house. I could easily spend $2,000 at Home Depot in a day. I'm confident. I'm confident I could. I'm also confident that we need to jump into some headlines.
Let's go! Let's go!
And now, here are the headlines.
Imagine this. You're like, I got a python in the back of my car. Just drive it around, no big deal. I put the python back there. We're just going for a drive, right? Good Sunday drive. Then you go, wow, there's a Chili's. Let me go pull over. I'm going to get a bite. I'll be back, Carlos, because that's the name of your python, I'm guessing. And then you go in the Chili's, come back to tell Carlos all about your great food over at Chili's, and then you realize, fuck, Carlos got out because he left the window cracked? What the fuck? Who brings a python for a drive and then goes to Chili's, then comes back out and goes, oh, fuck, I lost my snake? That's what happened in North Carolina. A woman went to a Chili's. She had left her pet python in the back seat, and then the fucker got out. I don't get snake people. I don't get you at all, snake people. What is wrong with you? You don't drive your car with a snake in the back. I don't care if it's in a bucket. And then my thing is like, snakes are strong and they're smart and they're just going to pop that bucket open one day. You're going to be driving along, be like, oh, so it's such a beautiful day. Oh, let's head down I-25. It's around my neck. Oh, my God. My son at his school, they have a bunch of reptiles, snakes included. He had a small python that he had, and it was a constrictor, and it wrapped around his neck, and they had to get like 3 people to remove it. This happened yesterday. He's all, hey, by the way, I got choked today. I'm like, by who? Steven. I'm like, who the fuck's Steven? I need to call his dad. I'm gonna kick his dad right in the dick and say, look at Steven and be like, that happens again? I'm gonna, you know, I don't know. I just kicked him in the dick. That's pretty bad. I'll do it again, I guess. And he's like, no. Steven is the snake, and it's a whatever constrictor, boa constrictor. But it's like he's like, it's only like 2 feet or whatever it was. Who knows with kids, because they could say it's not that big, and then I go and see it and it's like 5 feet long or something like that. Like, that's pretty fucking big. But he told me it just like all of a sudden started constricting his wrapping around his neck, because I'm guessing my son wasn't paying much attention to what the snake was doing. Big shocker for a 6th grader not to be paying that much attention. Anyway, the teacher was very calm. She said, Jackson, why don't you go ahead and sit down? What you need to control your breaths. And then her and somebody else, and maybe 3 people, ended up taking it off. And his neck was still sore the next day. Like, dude, my wife goes, maybe next time you let it constrict around your arm. Don't put a constrictor around your freaking neck. He's like, well, I guess I learned the hard way. Yeah, you did. Another reason why I dislike snakes. My goodness. I think it scared him, though. That's good. But why? But going back to the car thing, if you had any kind of snake, why would you have it in your vehicle if it's not like really tightly contained? And then don't go to fucking Chili's. Got this death machine in the back of my car. You know what, though? That's making me hungry. Let's go get some fajitas at Chili's. By the way, that's whenever I think of Chili's, I think of 2 food items. Well, actually, 3. Baby back ribs, right? You got my baby back. You got my baby back. Chili's, baby back ribs, barbecue sauce, right? That's what I think of with Chili's. I also think of the beautiful smell and the sound of fajitas coming fresh out of the kitchen and being plopped on somebody's table. And also, when I was dating my wife, we used to go to Chili's all the time. I would always get the old timer with cheese. So freaking good. So good. So I understand a little bit why the lady's just like, yes, I got this horrific beast in my back seat. But Chili's is fucking calling my name. Yeah. I want my baby back. I want my baby back. Chili's, baby back ribs, barbecue sauce. Damn, Chili's, call me up. I'm your guy. I'm your new spokesperson. Okay? Got it. A moose wandered into a company's garage in Sweden. Oh my goodness, we are Swedish and we are very happy to be here. I don't even know if that's what Swedish people sound like. But anyway, it goes into this garage and it trampled all over 3 BMW cars, causing roughly $20,000 worth of damage before it just took off. Now, I'll tell you this. Anybody that's had damage to your vehicle, once they start looking at it, there might be more that they have to deal with. They might start off like mine. When I had a bunch of hail damage, the initial inspection by the insurance company was, I think it was like $2,000, ended up being closer to 8 because there was so much more damage caused by the hail. So thankfully, you have insurance and they paid for all that. So, but so my point being, they're saying it's $20,000 worth, but I imagine once they start getting into it, those things weigh a fucking ton. The meese. I don't know why meese sounds so funny. It's not a word, and that's what makes it funny to me. Anyway, there's a herd of meese coming in, and they jumped on my BMW. They say $20,000, but once the dent people start looking at it, it might be a lot worse. Might be a lot worse. So uh, that's what you get though when you live in some areas that if you leave your door open, you're gonna have animals come in there. And a fucking moose is gigantic. They have a moose at the Colorado Springs Zoo, the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo, and that thing is huge. And you're fairly close to it, a safe distance, but you're close enough where you can just respect the size of it. It's phenomenal. So one of those things decides it wants to, walk in your garage, shit's gonna get fucked up. Shoppers are shocked over a living mannequin display in a China mall shopping center because the mannequins are living people and they're modeling the clothes, but they're walking on a treadmill. I just think that's funny. It's creative, I guess. It's a unique way. It's a way to draw attention to the clothing. But that being said, it's completely unnecessary. It's from a company perspective. Yeah, you might get some initial attention, initial draw of people that want to go in there and see it because it's something different and unique. But eventually that's going to wear off. And is it really worth it? Is it worth paying the models to do that? Good for the models because that's a very entry level gig. And sometimes you just got to take what you can get. And plus, you're getting a little bit of a workout. I mean, you're just walking. Why not? But I think it's unnecessary. I think it's a little reckless in a lighthearted way for financially because you don't need to be paying somebody to do that when you have a perfectly good mannequin. And let's be honest, eventually we're going to get to the point where it's just going to be some sort of display of somebody wearing the clothes, or it's going to be some sort of hologram of somebody wearing the clothes. And you don't have to pay a model to constantly be on site, and yet you don't have to pay them. So, but it's good for the models because let's be honest, we talked about this before. The modeling industry has a giant target on its back, and it's already getting some shots in the back end from AI because the modeling industry should be a thing of the past within like 10 years, is my guess. Because who needs a fucking model when I have software that can put a very attractive person in my clothing, my brand, my location, where if maybe I'm a hotel or they're in my shop, whatever it is. I don't need to pay actual actors or models. I think it's a bit silly. But that being said, if you're a model right now and somebody wants to pay you to do that, do it because you don't know how long that opportunity is going to be there. And it's like I said, that's very entry level. Like, I got a gig. What's your gig? I get a, model at Target. What? What do you mean at Target for like their commercials or something? No, 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 no. I'm going to be walking on a treadmill modeling clothes at the store. That's just bizarre. But it reminds me of, like, if you're hungry to get in that industry, sometimes you got to take the bottom of the barrel gigs that are presented to you. And it reminds me of, and I've shared this story before, of when I was propositioned to be in a porn. And it was back when I was in broadcasting school. My buddy and I were like, we're supposed to come up with some fake news story. So we go, of course, being two guys, we're like, let's go to a sex shop. There's a bunch of them down here. So we go into this one, and the lady's explaining to us how the Denver metro area, specifically Lakewood, was at the time, early 2000s, don't know what it is now, was a one of the, I want to say she said top 3 places for porn in the United States to be filmed. What? Then she shows me all the backs of these porns that she had, Blu-ray or DVD, whatever they were. So she's all, look, Lakewood, Colorado. This is in California somewhere. This is in New York or whatever. And then Lakewood. It was fascinating. All the good names too, right? But so she's going through this and going back to, sometimes if you want to be in an industry, you got to go with whatever gets you in the door. And if I would have wanted to be in the porn industry, I had an opportunity back in the early 2000s. She looks me up and down. Let's pretend she has a cigarette just dangling out of her mouth, like total, like something you'd see hanging out in the back lot of a truck stop, right? A lot lizard. And she's just looking at me. You can tell she smokes like 5 packs a day. And she's like, how would you like to be in a porn all by yourself? I'd be like, what? Huh? Me? What? I don't know. What are the details? And then she said something to the effect of, it would be a 3 to 5 hour shoot by myself. Think about that. 3 to 5 hours by myself. It would be, I want to say she said it was right around $300 for the shoot. And then the cherry on top, the like real big selling point. She's like, whoa, we'll supply you with the Viagra to make it go a little smoother. I'm like, oh, well, I'll think about it. And she gave me her business card. I go home. At the time, I'm engaged to my now wife. And she goes, well, you going to do it or not? I'm like, no, 3 to 5 hours. Think about that. It's not like that's like 3 to 5 hours and you're with somebody. I mean, there's a lot of ways to break it up in that sense. But if it's just you, your mind starts wandering, and it wanders into some horrible places that you don't want to know exist. That's basically what I'm getting at. It was terrible. I was like, no. Don't need the money that bad. I mean, we could have used the money, but no, not worth it. Oh my God. I still think about that, and your mind is like, what would I have done to myself for 3 hours or 3 to 5? It'd be, maybe there's a lot of time in between for crying. Maybe that's what it is. But still, there's still a lot of time in there to be doing something to yourself. Ooh, gross. Would not want to do that. But that being said, mannequins, the living mannequins, that's great. It's cute. It's adorable. But guess what? That's not going to last very long as far as the modeling industry. AI is already starting to snuff you out. There's accounts on Instagram that are making a butt ton of money, and there's nobody of real life that's in the pictures that they're uploading. It's just some very attractive AI model that they just put in different scenarios, wearing different clothes and different backgrounds and whatever. Oh, visited the Eiffel Tower today. She's not even real. It's just some dude in the back room just generating these and posting them. And guys are so hard up for any sort of sexual interaction, they don't care that it's AI, or they're just too dumb to click on the bio and figure out that it's AI generated because it says. But then you read some of the comments, And it's guys going, "You are so beautiful," blah, blah, blah. Like, what? Dude, she ain't real. But whoever owns that account is making money off of it. So listen, if you're in the modeling world, soak it up because it's going out the door soon. It's kind of like the porn industry. I don't understand how the porn industry is competing with OnlyFans because, but that being said, I've never been to an OnlyFans account, but everything I hear is it's essentially like a live webcam of people getting banged or banging themselves, right? I need to get on that. I need to get on that and be like, I'll do it myself. Listen, I've had a lot of time to think about what a 3 to 5 hour shoot would do. So I have some ideas. Oh, so gross. So gross. Ugh, ugh. Hey, the Mayo Clinic came out with, based off your age, how many push-ups you should be able to do consecutively, whether you're a woman or a man. So the age 25, you should be, as a woman, doing 20 push-ups. A man, 28. Age 35, women, 19 push-ups. Men, 21. 45, 14 for women, 16 for men. Age 55, 10 for women. Men, 12. 65 is 10 for women and 10 for men. Good. If you can, I don't know what your number's at. I don't want to brag, but I'm way outside my bracket on this. I've always been, for whatever reason, good at doing push-ups. I'm not insanely good, like I'm in the military or something. Some of you guys can bust out 100 push-ups without even breaking a sweat. I'm not that good, but I'm in my 40s and I busted out almost 30. I did 29. And I still have kind of a screwed up shoulder. But that being said, I get that there's a lot of people that can't. Just for whatever reason, I can do these. Uh, it's something that, like, I posted this on social media, and most people were just responded with something equivalent to, "Wow, shit," like, "Oh, damn it." And some of you are really good at it, but here's what I'll say: if you're in this and you can only, if you're looking at this and you go, "I can only do 5," don't be ashamed of that. Just work at it. I would say do as many as you can right now. Don't be hard set on a number. Just do as many as you can. Then maybe wait 5 hours, try it again, see if you can get one passed. What I would suggest is you do as many days in a row as you can. If you're starting at 5 and you're trying to just go until you can't physically do it anymore, if your goal is, say, 16 and you're starting at 5, I bet if you take this seriously, put a reminder in your phone or something, I bet after 2 weeks that you're going to be easily hitting that 16 mark. Assuming you don't have any major ailments with your shoulders or anything like that. Obviously, that's completely different if you're dealing with stuff like that. But push yourself. I'm not saying that you need to do it till you pass out and have a heart attack, but logically approach it. Be like, I can only do, let's say, 5. I want to get up to 10 by the end of the week. Well, if you start it on, let's say, Monday, you do 5. The next time you do it, try to add at least one more on and really push yourself. And then the next time you do it, try to go from 6 to 7 just to see if you can. So try. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad if you can't. Some people are going to be really good at it, and some people won't. There's some guy who's like, I did 45. Well, good for you, dickhead. It's probably in the week. Like, I did 45. It took me a month, but I got there. I did. Hey, real quick, owlpipeid.com. You need to go there right now, and I'm going to tell you how to get 30% off your order. Owl Pipe ID. Caw-caw! That is the sound of an owl. I don't care what anybody says. They make decals that are industrial quality and made for the trades at a lower price than you're going to find at the big online sticker retailers who are selling you, honestly, a lower quality sticker. Owl Pipe ID, they are legit. And they're in mechanical rooms throughout the city, helping plumbers identify what's flowing through the pipes. They make promotional stickers for breweries, cannabis shops, retailers, schools, as well as podcasters. That's right. I have them on my water bottle, run it through the dishwasher, probably now about 30 times, and it looks brand new. The stickers aren't peeling, they're not fading, they look amazing. I even got one on the back of my car, and it's been on there for over a year, and it looks brand new. And Owl Pipe ID shop is based right here in Inglewood, Colorado. So if you're able to go through them to get your sticker needs, guess what? You're helping out a small business in the state of Colorado, and that's really neat. All their stickers are made on premium industrial vinyl with UV baked ink, and that means they're protected from sunlight for 7 years. Now, if you're still unsure, that's okay. I get it. Rhea is going to work with you and send you some free samples of your logo and artwork. So just go to owlpipeid.com and click on that big red button that says request a quote. So basically, you log into the website and you just scroll down slightly and you're going to see the request a quote button. Tell Rhea what your project is, and she's going to respond quickly. You can email her directly, sales@owlpipeid.com. Include in the email my exclusive promo code DeHuff to get 30% off your first order worth $5,000 or less. Go ahead, check them out at owlpipeid.com. You know what we need to do right now? Let's jump into some sports.
He's walked the hallowed grounds of Folsom Field, Coors Field, and Mile High Stadium.
He runs with the 50. He runs with the 40. The guy is drunk, but there he goes.
It's time for sports with DeHuff.
All right, so Mike Tyson is taking on Jake Paul. That's going to be this Friday night, and you can watch it exclusively on Netflix. And which in a sense is really cool because Netflix is doing it. I already have a Netflix account, so not to brag, but I do. But I'm going to watch it. My wife's excited for it. She's like, she keeps asking me every time we see a promo for it. She's like, do you want to watch it? I'm like, yeah, I do. My son wants to watch it. My daughter probably doesn't give two shits about it, but she might watch it. And I think when you see this, one, it's drawing a lot of attention towards the sport of boxing, a sport that just really hasn't been getting a lot of attention as of late. So that's good. And I know people hate Jake Paul, but he is bringing eyes to the sport again. But I'm looking at it of one of two ways of things that are going to go down. One, Tyson is 58 years old. You don't know how his body's going to react. He could go out there and get the shit kicked out of him. You know? He's up there in age. He's not a young buck anymore. So it could backfire because I think a lot of people like myself remember Mike Tyson of old where he was just knocking fuckers out right and left. And we hope that happens. But there's a chance that Jake Paul, who's much younger, goes in there and does the opposite. Right? He goes in there and lays the hammer down. I think, in all honesty, what's going to happen is, in my mind, Tyson's going to go in there and just lay the fucking hammer down and beat the snot out of Jake Paul. Why? Well, here's Tyson talking with a podcaster, Manu Kakopayan. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm probably saying it wrong. But the podcaster asked Tyson, like, what are your thoughts on where you were when you retired back in like 2005 to where you're at right now?
I was a different person then. I was using narcotics, alcoholic back then, and I'm not that person anymore. And I see a better picture of myself. I see light. I see the world from a different perspective now.
That's wild to think about that Tyson was just so into drugs. He was spiraling. There's a lot of videos and pictures out there of Tyson where he gained a lot of weight and he was just a shell of his former self. And there's a lot of reasons behind that. He did not have a good upbringing, which is one of those things where he was bred to be a boxer. Life shit on him, so he took that life experience, that grit, and he transformed it into being an elite boxer. And he fought with passion and just nastiness, right? Iron Mike, because he breaks people's faces. And I think that's a huge advantage for Mike Tyson going up against somebody like Jake Paul, who had a softer upbringing. Tyson was the iron of his life sharpened the iron that is him. And Tyson was just he's just built differently, mentally and physically. Now, Tyson discussed how his training's going.
I feel great. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I boxed 8 rounds. I got the rounds in me, so I'm not. Listen, I'm sparring young guys, 30, 27 young guys. They hit me real hard. It didn't. It wasn't a picnic when I first started training. I'm fighting with younger guys, and they're really giving me a shellacking at first. I've been sparring. Listen, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I sparred 8 rounds for 3 days. So I'm going the distance every day in the gym.
And that's a big deal. He's talking about going the distance, the full 8 rounds. He's doing that at least 3 times a week in the gym. That's a big deal. Stamina. Does he still have the stamina to go in there and fight a somewhat legitimate boxer? I say that because Paul is good enough to get where he's at, but he hasn't really fought anybody of elite boxing status. He hasn't really fought anybody that is a professional 100% boxer. And now the closest thing he's going to get to that is Mike Tyson. But Mike Tyson is almost 60 years old. He's been out of the professional boxing arena or, ring since 2005, almost 20 years. So it's really one of those things where at the end of the day, what I'm hoping is that Tyson goes in there and just snaps and beats the shit out of him. Because one of the other things is the podcaster asked Tyson, he's like, what are you expecting to see from Jake Paul? And he said, all I hope for is that he takes it seriously. Because this is a man's game. And he's going up against a fucking hard man. And Tyson can go in there and just beat the shit out of him. Tyson's a new guy, obviously. He's talking about how, his mind is clear. But if Jake Paul goes in there and starts disrespecting the sport in some fashion, if he starts disrespecting Tyson in a sense, you're going to see the beast come out that is Mike Tyson, and he's going to unleash. And that's what we're hoping for, right? Now, listen, I'm not a skilled boxer. I'm not a boxing purist. I don't know a ton about boxing, but I know enough where I've trained enough with some MMA guys, but I know enough. One of the most important things in fighting is footwork. And I just don't think Jake Paul has good footwork. He seems very heavy-footed. And somebody like Tyson, who is very majestic on his feet, at least he was, and what I've seen in videos of him, he still seems to have that. Jake Paul just seems very sloppy. He can, if he gets a hold of you, put some good, power behind his swings, and that can cause some damage. But ultimately, if I were to bet on this game, if I were to go to betonline.ag right now, I would put money on Tyson winning. I would say that Tyson wins before the second round is done. That's just me. Maybe that's wishful thinking, but the way I look at it is Tyson's going to go in there as soon as he gets maybe hit by Paul, and it just kind of jars him into reality of, fuck, dude, I don't want to lose to this douchebag. And it's going to piss him off. And then the way I see it is Tyson goes in there and just unleashes hell. That's the way I'm looking at it. I would put money on Tyson wins before the second round is done. I could be wrong, but that's the way I'm going to look at it. I think Tyson wins this one hands down very easily. I'd be fucking pissed. I'd be disappointed, everything in between, if Tyson doesn't win, because Jake Paul's fucking annoying. I respect what he's done, where he's come from, as far as he's made a career out of being a YouTuber. He's now a podcaster / boxer. Good for him. He's accomplished a lot. But that being said, doesn't mean I need to enjoy his product, and I don't. He just irritates me. But you know what makes me feel good? Jumping into some entertainment news with Cowboy DeHuff.
He and his posse of rump rangers gallop across the country to find the latest news on celebrities.
I love your movie. It has got to be one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
It's entertainment news with Cowboy DeHuff.
All righty, Scotty, you ready for this? I guess so, Cowboy. How you been, Cowboy?
I've been good. Still all balls.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you're still all balls. I was worried.
Were you? Because that's kind of weird that you're thinking about me being all balls. Anyway, DeHuff, I just wanted to get to a couple stories, and it's really bizarre stuff that I want to get into. And I have to say, People Magazine, you ain't all balls. And I got two great examples of it. One, the guy that played Jim from The Office, great show, one of the best.
That's right, Cow. Oh, I love that. Dwight was probably my favorite character on that show. Jim's pretty good.
Listen, DeHuff, I didn't fucking ask you.
Sorry. Continue.
Anyway, Jim, otherwise known as John Krasinski or something like that. I'm not sure if I said it right. Honestly, don't care. He was named the 2024 Sexiest Man Alive by People Magazine. And I call bullshit.
Why do you call bullshit?
Have you seen Hollywood? There's a lot more attractive fellas out there. And let's be honest, it's the sexiest Hollywood person alive. That ain't counting like you and me, because you know us motherfuckers, we be on that magazine every single year. Am I right?
Heck yeah, buddy. Heck yeah.
I just gave myself a high five. Yeah, so Scotty, I think that's bullshit. And you were talking about it last week with the Kelsey bros, how they want sexiest podcasters. Bullshit, you got that stolen from you.
I know. I'm just saying that it's just all People Magazine is doing is looking for clicks. And like with the podcast thing last week with the Kelsey brothers being named sexiest podcasters, that's just how they do it. They're just looking for people to click on their shit because they're the hot podcasters right now. And Travis is dating Taylor Swift. So there you go. It's pretty freaking simple. I'm sure there's a lot more attractive podcasters out there. I'm sure there's a lot more sexy people out there other than Jim from The Office. But it's just their way of getting people to click on their links. That's it. But that being said, if all of a sudden it's People Magazine, for some reason, if I'm like a hot product right now, and they're like, DeHuff, we want you to be the sexiest man of the year or the sexiest podcaster this year. And I'll be like, fine. Yeah, hell yeah. I'm going to promote the shit out of that. Be like, when do I shoot my nude scenes? They're like, we do not do nude scenes here. You're like, well, you do now. You do now. All right, Scotty, that's disgusting. People don't want to hear about your junk. But also, the other story from People Magazine, this is the headline. And they wrote a fucking article about this shit. Ryan Reynolds went for a walk in New York City. Oh my God, that's fascinating. Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool. Whoa, look at me. What the fuck are you doing there? People Magazine? That's nonsense. Again, it's going back to the clicks. Going back to the clicks. What sells? What sells? It's Ryan Reynolds. The Deadpool Wolverine just came out on Disney Plus yesterday. So they're jumping on that bandwagon and getting more clicks. They wrote a fucking article about him taking a walk, and it's basically he went out and enjoyed the sunshine of great New York City. By the way, Deadpool's out, and these are the numbers that Deadpool Wolverine have done. Blah, 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 blah. Credit to the writer for making, a shit burger out of a big giant pile of shit. Still shit, though. But my goodness, that's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Anyway, Scotty, thank you so much. That's all I got. Don't forget to be all balls. Thanks, Cowboy. Thanks, Cowboy. Hey, before we get into the mailbag, listen up, Denver. You got to remember this name. Game Time PDR. I know some of you got hit by those crazy hailstorms back in May. I did. And if you're one of those who are waiting till the end of hail season or are just procrastinating for one reason or another, and listen, let's be honest, Denver, past 5 years, if you've been around, you've experienced hail damage in some fashion. But the hard part about getting it fixed is finding a trustworthy repair shop to do all the work and treat your vehicle the right way. The team at Game Time PDR is that Denver local trustworthy shop. They specialize in paintless dent repair, which saves the integrity of your vehicle and restores the value back into your vehicle. Now, to celebrate the end of hail season, and you procrastinators out there, they're offering a $200 gift card just to get your vehicle fixed. That's awesome. So cool. Game Time PDR has an expert claims specialist on staff to take that hassle out of dealing with the insurance claims and makes it a seamless process. Game Time PDR will pay your deductible up to $1,000, but they need to see your vehicle first in order to qualify. They're able to pay your deductible, by the way, because they work and advocate for the customers first before the insurance company. Now, Game Time PDR's expertise and experience are unmatched. They have over 30 years of experience in the industry, and they have some of the best technicians on the freaking planet. Call Anthony right now, 303-955-8200. That's 303-955-8200, and they're going to schedule an evaluation with you. Go ahead. It's Game Time. Jeez, my brain. I just screwed up. Game Time PDR. Ready? Game Time PDR, the MVP in dent repair. Seamless. Seamless. You're welcome, everybody. You're welcome. You know what you need to do? Let's jump into the mailbag.
Mailbag. You've got mail.
This comes in from Jeff. He said, DeHuff, I saw this headline and I thought of you. The headline is, I'm a Christmas-loving mom. There's no fucking way my kid's going to decorate my tree. And then Jeff added, what a terrible parent. You're right. Here's the thing when it comes to holiday decorations. I didn't realize this until I had kids. I wasn't a huge, let's decorate for the holidays before we had kids. And it used to kind of drive my wife nuts. I would do it reluctantly. Then you have kids and they want to help. And I want to say last year, for the very first time, they did it 100% of decorating a tree. I helped them put the tree together. We do a fake tree. I don't understand people that still cut down trees, but that's your thing, whatever. I don't understand it. You're a tree murderer, but whatever, we'll move on. So I put the tree together, but they decorated it 100% on their own, and they loved it. It was a great time for them. That's more important than being this fucking, well, I don't know what you want to call her.
What a bitch.
Yeah, that works. That works. She's a bitch. I'm a Christmas loving mom. There's no fucking way my kid's decorating my tree. You're a snob, and your kids are going to grow up to hate your fucking guts. That's what's going to happen. I get it. You like Christmas. But your kids are going to grow up to hate Christmas because the way you're controlling them, not letting them decorate. At least start off with allowing them to decorate a little bit. Then eventually you get to the point where they do it on their own. And when you see the joy in their eyes of putting it together, and every time somebody comes over to the house, be like, hey, we decorated that. That's better than you going, oh, I decorated. I'm not going to let the kids touch the tree. Because all your friends that come over are going to go, what a fucking bitch. What a bitch.
What a bitch.
They are. Nobody's going to like you for that. In fact, some might even call you a cunt.
C-word alert. C-word alert.
I didn't say I was calling her a cunt. I'm just saying some of her friends are probably calling her a cunt, which makes sense. It does. What a terrible human being. There's nothing. If it's decorations outside, that's one thing. Like where, you're hanging up lights and it might not be safe for your kids, depending on their age. That makes sense. But decorating a tree? No. Who cares? Let the kids do it. Jeez. Talking about like cutting down your own tree. I think it's ridiculous that, what is it, Times Square? They always have that giant fucking tree. Doesn't the White House do that too? It's like you're cutting down these giant, beautiful trees just to have it standing somewhere for like a month. Stupid. Let the tree fucking grow. It's so dumb. Like, we got this giant tree that was perfectly fine. We cut it down, drove it halfway around the country, and we're going to stick it in the middle of a city. And then afterwards, guess what? We're going to throw it into the wood chipper. The wood chipper. Throw it in the fucking wood chipper, Todd. Johnny's over there. He's with his girlfriend, Chrissy. And they're going to go chop up the tree, throw it in the fucking wood chipper. Then we're good. That's as good as I can get on a Boston accent. Boston. Fucking wood chipper. Wood chipper. I don't know. I think that's messed up. And I wouldn't doubt if you were ever able to follow up on a story like this. And maybe you have experience with it. Did you have a parent, or do you know of somebody that was ultra controlling around a holiday and wouldn't let their kids help out with the decorating? I would imagine that would cause resentment. Like, you follow up with this lady in 20 years. Is she close with her kids? Probably not. Or her kids hate Christmas because of her. Crap, we got to go over to mom's house. Don't touch the fucking tree, because she's going to flip her fucking lid. That's her thing. That and wine. Right? You know that lady drinks too much wine, right? I'm just casting judgment based on one fucking sentence. There's no fucking way my kid's decorating my tree. She's a lush. That's all I'm saying. She has a problem. She needs to get some help. And she's crying for help in a weird way by saying these things. Listen, alcoholism is a real thing. I get it. I'm poking fun of it in a sense, but obviously there's something wrong with this lady if she won't even let her fucking kids decorate a tree. God, what a bitch. What a fucking bitch. Man.
What a bitch.
Laszlo, I already said it, okay? Now you're just saying the same shit I just said.
I didn't do fucking shit.
Oh my God, now you're playing a victim. You know what, Laszlo? Go somewhere else, okay?
Right, as always.
I am right. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day. Hopefully you laughed a little bit in this episode. If you want to be like Jeff and participate in the show, I love it when you can. You can hit me up on my socials at DeHuff Podcast, or you can send me an email, dehuffpodcast@gmail.com. A lot of people like to just direct message me, but you can post on my timeline as well. But again, at DeHuff Podcast on my socials. Big thanks for you guys for listening and watching. Make sure you subscribe wherever you're consuming this and share it with your friends if you're able, or at least give it a nice review, like it wherever it's posted. That helps with the algorithm to push it out towards everybody. Big thanks to Owl Pipe ID. Caw-caw! Caw-caw! That is a fucking solid owl sound. Solid owl sound. Game time PDR. Padar. Padar. That's dumb. I got to work on that one. Also, Bet Online. Go to betonline.ag. It's DeHuff Uncensored. You guys have a fantastic day. Let's continue to move forward. I'll talk to you next time.